Greetings everybody, it's Emily from Pages and Ink, and today I'm going to do something a little different with this video, and it's just basically going to be a rant on something that I've come to notice lately, especially with some new books coming out, and a couple things that I hadn't really noticed before that I'm now noticing, and it's taken me forever to actually make a video like this. But it's something I need to talk about, and I may even make another one in the future about a different but similar topic. But this topic is basically this bookworm, book dragon, whatever you want to call me, my rant on the bullying of authors. 3 instances I have seen come up at least yesterday, but they've probably been going on for a while. Sarah J. Maas's new book released yesterday, but people who had either gotten advanced copies or have already read it have been giving it bad reviews, and from what I have noticed, or what I have talked to people about, is it's because their OTP was no longer canon or was not canon, and the fact that you would badmouth or give us a book a 1 star just based on that, there's probably other reasons, but I've actually seen a couple instances where that was the reason for it, and that's not a reason to do that, because a lot of these authors basically live off of reviews. Second instance is Sabaa Tahir. Her second book in the An Ember in the Ashes series, A Torch Against the Night, came out last week, I believe, last Tuesday. And I had seen that she had been getting some hate based on, like, the one message that I really saw, I'm sure there was more, but the one that I really saw was an Anon told her nobody wants your diverse book, and I have so many objections to that, but it was also kind of shocking, like, why would you feel the need to say that? Why do you think it's going to make you popular? Because that's one common thing that I've seen with bullying, is it's like you say things, especially mean things, because you think, I'm going to make an impact on this world, and I'm going to make this person remember me. You're anonymous, nobody knows who you are. So first of all, that's one thing that's not working in your favor. The second thing is you're really hurting people, and you're making it really difficult for somebody to do something they love, and that's terrible. Last instance, the third one, I saw somebody, well actually it wasn't targeted specifically at an author, but I did see Maggie Stiefvater, who wrote Raven Boys, as well as Shiver and Scorpio Races and a couple other series books. Shiver's actually just the book. The series, I believe, is I forgot what the series is called. But anyway, she was talking about how people should buy her book or get them from the library versus pirating them. So here's my rant on this. The first instance with Sarah J. Maas and people actually sending her hate, especially on Twitter, because of what I understand is that their OTP was no longer canon, and I don't know any specifics on that, but no matter what the situation is, you should never ever send hate to an author. If they do or say something hateful, it's one thing to correct them, but it's another thing to, like, blatantly send them hate, because you're making it very hard for somebody to do something they love to do, which is to tell stories. And it is not their job to make your favorite thing happen. And I say this because if an author was to make everybody's OTP canon, there would not be... the stories would be a mess. The plot would be everywhere. It wouldn't be a good story. For example, Sarah J. Maas's books, especially Throne of Glass. There have been quite a few couples in this series. There's Selena and Dorian, Selena and Kale, Aelin and Rowan, and a couple of the new ones from Queen of Shadows that aren't quite relationships, but are kind of. A lot of them are basically Selena or Aelin with somebody, but anyway. If Selena was to be with those people, it's not gonna work. It'll be like a harem, which most people would be like, yes, but it's not making a relationship canon. It's just making them have a relationship. And you have to understand that there are things and reasons for pretty much everything an author does, especially somebody as talented as Sarah J. Maas. I love all her books. I read Throne of Glass 4 years ago, just about, and loved it. It actually got me back into reading. And the fact that people are sending her hate over her newest book and basically saying you can skip this one and just wait for the next one is just kind of hurtful. Because she put a lot of time and people have been really excited for that. So if you're going to downplay it, and I mean I'm only basing this off of one fact, but my point is, do not bully an author for any reason other than to correct them, and don't even bully them about that. Correct them, educate them, but don't be like, it's terrible, I hate it, everybody should not read this. Because first of all, to each his own. Second of all, you know, it's just because they write for their fans, they also write for themselves, and it's not your place to tell them how to write. Especially if you don't have the experience to do so, if that makes any sense. In the instance of Maggie Stiefvater and, actually I skipped Sabata here, I'll go back to that. But in the instance of Maggie Stiefvater and buying or getting books from the library versus pirating it. Pirating I have the same feelings for as stealing, especially if you're downloading it versus just reading it online or something, because they don't get commission for it. Now, I didn't know the thing about the libraries. I was actually always curious as to how libraries got funding. A lot of that is both people going to the library to read, as well as, they get commission for books getting checked out. So if you go to your library to read a book versus buying it because maybe you don't have the money or you're not sure if you're going to like it, I'm happy to know that there are books that I checked out at the library a long time ago and loved so much that I bought them. That kind of helped that author twice, in a way. But don't pirate things. Don't even steal things. I've never understood why people steal things. Because you're not doing any good for anybody. You know, you're taking money from that, I'm trying to think of the best word. Pretty much corporation, but corporations have a lot of money and people are like, oh, it's just a couple of dollars. I work in retail. I'm not going to say where, because first of all, it's none of your business. Second of all, I don't want to. But I work in retail. And from what I understand, when people take things and we lose the money, we also lose work hours, which means we're not getting paid. Which is not good because a lot of people need that job in order to survive in the world. They need the money. So by taking things, yeah, you're getting something free, but you're still taking it from somebody else who might need it more. And if you are that morally, like if you're in the evil side of the spectrum for that, then I don't know how to help you, because I've never understood stealing. You think it's not going to hurt anybody, it's one item, it piles up. Please don't steal from authors or anywhere. Now, the last issue that I'm going to talk about before doing my next video and leaving you guys alone about this is the Saka Tahir issue where somebody said, we don't want your diverse book. First of all, there has been call for so many, or by so many people, for more diverse books, which is, LGBT and POC characters, as well as disabled characters, and different issues, for example, depression, so like mental disorders, stuff like that. People want diverse books because representation. If you look at the media, especially for somebody like me, there's a lot of white people. There's a lot of white reporters, a lot of white actors, a lot of white actresses, a lot of white models. So people of other origins, POC, people of color, they don't get that representation. The biggest and best example I can think of was this adorable picture I saw of a little POC girl who was dressed in a gymnast leotard because she wanted to be just like Simone Biles. And, you know, growing up, I wanted to be a gymnast, although I didn't really have anybody that was like my role model for this, but I do have an example. In middle school, I wanted to be the next Mia Hamm. I wanted to play soccer for the women's team. That dream died in high school when I got introduced to theater, and I couldn't do them both because the times just clashed so much, and I really enjoyed theater. So I stuck with that instead, ended up being primarily in tech instead of acting, but I digress. Point is, I had a white role model to look up to, and we need more role models and representation for POCs in the LGBT community, because before Tumblr and high school and books, my knowledge of the LGBT community was just definition. I didn't personally know anybody of any other orientation other than straight, to my knowledge, because I went to a private Catholic school. So not only is having representation good for role models, but it's also to kind of make it more of a social norm, so people aren't that weirded out by the aspect of two women being in love, or two men being in love, or being transgendered. So we do need diverse books, and Sabaa Tahir is a wonderful, wonderful author, and she's also a POC writer, which we also need more of because, again, role models. So you can take your hate and stick it where the sun don't shine, because it's not good to bully, it's not good to steal, and we definitely need diverse books because it's bad to discriminate. So basically my message is, don't hate, read a book. Happy reading, guys.